Well, hey guys, I want to be the first to welcome you to the team. And if you've been here for a while, I'm so glad you're here. I love being able to do business with you. And for those of you who maybe just joined, welcome. Holy cow, is this exciting? And if I have not personally met you just yet, just know my name's Katie Bristow. I'm a part of your support team. And I just look forward to growing this thing together in the exact vision and exact intention that you came to Q for. And so with that, I am here to give you just kind of like the next step. Hopefully, and if you haven't, we're going to rewind a little bit. Hopefully you've done your new business training, you've launched, you've completed that document that says new business orientation, you've walked through the steps side by side with somebody, you've actually created your list, you've set up grand opening events, you've invited into, people know about Q Sciences, because guys, that is number one. That is the most important part about you getting your business rolling successfully. All this next level stuff or the back end stuff that I'm going to talk about here next, this comes second to the action. And so if you have not taken action on your business, pause this, rewind, and let's get into action. But the reason why I'm actually putting together this video for you is to explain our weekly rhythm. Because if you get started and you launch your business, you can probably quickly get confused of what to do, what to plug into, what the heck is going on, because all of this is brand spanking new to you. And so I'm going to kind of just simplify and give you a fast rundown of what the heck is going on a weekly, monthly, and even a little bit of an annual basis. Because on a week to week, guys, obviously doing the action behind your business, just like what you did to launch it, that's going to be a key piece. We call it income producing activity, working in that system, piquing interest, exposing, following up, because that's how you're going to always grow and expand, is talking to more people more times. And so never, ever stop the action. But to get into the rhythm of the training is going to sharpen your sword. It's going to keep you updated with what's going on here, because I can tell you Q moves fast. There's always something to catch up onto. And don't feel like you have to kind of like pause and backtrack and learn all the things. No, just plug into what's going on today to stay up to date. And so number one, when we're looking at the weekly rhythm, there's a few key pieces, and they're actually all in gray, actually minus the power hour, but the three key pieces in gray are going to be either corporate updates or trainings. And so set in stone, our corporate update is on Mondays. Never forget to tune in or catch the recording on any of these, because this is how you're going to stay current. You're going to understand what's going on. You're going to be equipped and empowered. And it starts with knowing what's actually going on from corporate. So you're going to hear from our owners, our corporate staff, sometimes key leaders who are at the home office, but it's always going to give you the lowdown of what's going on and what you need to focus on. So that's going to be on Mondays. Tuesdays, we do our team huddles. Now, there may be other trainings that are sprinkled in throughout the week within your groups, within your leaders, and that's totally cool. But this training right here is pretty much our like key our key funnel into pouring into so many parts of the crew, and to be able to bring in top leaders to train on topics that they are best at. Guys, the caliber of people coming in and training on this and the recognition that we get to have on a weekly basis, it's amazing. It makes this all so much bigger than all of us, which I know we all signed up for. Like, who wants to do this, quiet by yourself? But why not do this alongside hundreds of other people? So the team huddle on Tuesday nights, it's a must. And if you can't tune in live, like I said, I'm going to show you the recording. Now, the third piece I want to talk to is training from an even higher level. This is going to be from our owners, from our corporate staff. This is going to be from Sarah Spencer, our owner's wife, who created the FFM program. You are going to hear so many different people And all of these pieces are 30 minutes. So whether you're catching it live or catching a recording, here's 90 minutes of your week to sharpen your sword, know what's going on, and just be current, because that's how you're going to rise and build a team here, is by knowing what's going on and setting that standard first for yourself. And so that's going to be the key pieces. Now, I like to call the rest the fillers. This is the action on our business. This is what we call income producing activity. And that's going to be working in that system, piquing interest. It's going to be exposing, sharing the information, the follow-up, getting people enrolled. And in that income producing activity, we have an online presentation that we call QIQs. And you'll see 2 boxes in red right there, because that is how we have identified and just slatted out 2 big Zooms that will always be there. There will always be an incredible trainer for you to funnel all of your exposures into. And so those are on Wednesdays and those are on Thursdays. And also around those 2 times, myself and many other leaders that you are working hand in hand with very well will have additional QIQ set. There's grand openings happening. There's other Q Sciences overviews, and that's going to be a piece for you to kind of pick a couple events in a week to be your events invite into. You don't need to show up to all of them. I actually recommend not showing up to all of them, unless it's maybe hearing someone new so you can hear their perspective and, you know, maybe gain some new testimonials or stories. But the fact is, just showing up to QIQs and sitting back and listening to them is great. It's wonderful, but show up with guests. That's what's going to grow your business. And so to backtrack on the QIQs, you're also going to see things that we call power hours. Now we have one set in stone that key leaders are kind of assigned or sign up for to do for everyone within the crew. And so you can show up to that on Mondays, but power hours can even just be a few people sideline, upline, downline, just grabbing some time and working their business, making those invites, making those follow-ups, but working side by side with a couple other people can make this not only so much more fun, but actually such a great learning experience, because everyone does something a little different. And so that's going to be part of that weekly rhythm. And so I'm going to show you where to actually find this on our team page, because you may or may not realize this, but there's actually, and you'll see it here. And if it doesn't pop up, because I know if you're not an admin, it's not going to be first. It's only going to show the unread. But if you click here to announcements, you're going to see all of the announcements for the week. And so there's the calendar with a few extra notes to just remind you, forward thinking certain things that are happening week to week. But then you're also going to be able to read what's going on. And I'm telling you, when we put this together, which you can see, I posted it and I do most of this posting for the team. There's always going to be filled in backfill information to understand what's going on, what's current, what do you need to focus on. But it takes a couple minutes to read through this, because you already know corporate update, power hour, team huddle, you know, and those QIQs are set. You'll see who the actual presenters are. And then there's always going to be some tips, you know, beginning of the month, mid-month, end of the month. And so as you look here, the last thing I want to mention on the weekly rhythm is this. Bam, 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 boop. Closing the week. This is all set up to ensure your success. If you are doing the income producing activity, and it's not by chance that we have 2 QIQs set at the end of the week, because if you're sharing and piquing interest and getting people in front of Q, and then you get them onto those last calls for the week, maybe they joined another call, but here they get to hear the big speakers and they go, wow, this is really amazing. I want to do this. What we have here is at midnight Mountain Standard Time, whatever your business ends at is what you're going to be paid at the very next Friday. You don't have to wait until the end of the month to be paid for the month. But as your business takes over from one rank to the next, so maybe you go from enrollment to builder, you're going to be paid builder, your bonus and commission, depending on what you qualified for, the very next Friday. It's insanely powerful. So never forget to take all of your exposures, everyone who's sitting on the fence, to get off the fence and either join or enroll. And if they need more time, they need more time. But the whole goal is to then close the month. And so that's going to be where you guys find it. And then we always will tag in announcements, anything that's important. Like here, talking about weekly pay, there's actually a video created on that weekly pay structure. And so that's the weekly rhythm. Income producing activity plus training. Income producing activity plus training. And if you feel like you're doing this income producing activity on an island by yourself and it's not fun, link arms with some of us. Never feel like you're working alone, because if you're doing this all wrong and it's no fun. And so reach out to the people who are part of your support team, because we actually want to help you. And I know that that's a fact for anyone and everyone that you talk to. So don't feel like you have to do this alone. Now, the last thing I want to speak to is going to be let me pull it up real fast. It's going to be our monthly rhythm. Now, there's a couple key pieces that make this rhythm work on a month-to-month basis. And the two that I'm going to highlight, now there's a couple things for elites and higher that you gain access to once you've reached those ranks, but I'm going to talk to two important pieces. And again, all of these have replay options. And I'll show you where to find those replays here in a second. When you're looking at the month, the first Saturday of the month is always going to be a super Saturday. It's a 2-hour training block across the entire crew where we're going to bring in speakers, and they're usually new speakers, and it's not always just the top dogs. We're going to be bringing in elites, bronzes, silvers, golds, sometimes even other ranks, to be able to train on topics that they're not only qualified in, but are going to add value to your business. And I can't tell you how much I love this. And it's the first Saturday of every month. So block that time out. The second thing, at the rank of executive or higher, especially for the newest people, we do an executive academy every second Saturday of the month. And this is to give you, as the newest executive or seasoned executive, the tools and the resources to keep pouring in and growing your team. There's skill sets that you don't need to know when you get started, but if you want to continue to make that $250 a month or more, there's a next layer of skill sets to learn, and they're not complicated. You just got to learn them. And so those two are part of our monthly rhythm to where you guys can plug into. Now, the last piece that I wanted to share with you guys is going to be a little bit of our annual rhythm. And I'm just going to talk to this as I pull up how you guys find those recordings. Annually, there's going to be events. And I mean, events could be happening weekly. And if you guys are in Boise, Idaho, which I know many of a big part of my team and our team is, just know that there's going to be weekly events through summer. And so if it's summertime and it's 2021 and you're listening to this, figure out what those weekly events are, because that's the fun in meeting others, a part of the team, seeing how everyone's building this, to be able to invite and actually funnel some of those Zooms into a live event. And so there's going to be live events going on weekly. So know when those are, but events are a key piece of what we do here annually. Regional events that are virtual or in person, plug into those. Get your team to plug into those. That will level up your business in skill sets you didn't even know you needed. But the big granddaddy of them all is always our convention. And speaking to our next convention coming up, it's going to be in Dallas, Texas in September. And guys, you don't want to miss this. I think back to our last convention, because we have 2 a year. The last convention that we had, I had a group of gals who joined our team who had just started like a week prior, and they came out to the convention. It was amazing. And they walked out of that convention going, oh my gosh, I feel like I see this so differently. I just know things that I would have never known had I not been here. And what's crazy is they came home and they were like trying to, as they're growing their business, they're just like, oh, like my newest people just don't get it. And they're like, I wish there was a convention every month that people could plug into, because you can't replicate that learning curve. And so if you're here for the long haul, plug into the events, get your convention ticket, because I know there's only a limited quantity of them, but Get your convention ticket. I know it comes at a sacrifice. We'll figure out, and there always, if there's a will, there's a way. We've done so many crazy things to get to people to events, whether it be on a budget or navigating kids' schedules, all the things, right? But pay time off, you name it. Get your ticket, make that your declaration and your commitment, and we'll figure it out, because that's what teams do. We figure it out together. And so to put that on the radar, our corporate events, but to backtrack and just kind of quickly show you where to find those recordings, because I know that's a key piece, because guys, we all build these businesses part-time, myself included. You might be like, really? Yes, I run a business. I own a CrossFit gym. I'm a new mom. Colton's one. And yeah, I can't show up to all the things all the time, but I do prioritize. And now, a couple years into this, I do put those cornerstone, those trainings in my calendar, because it's way more fun hopping on live. But there are times, and I understand not everyone can tune in live. And so we do a good job of saving, like recording things, and then saving them in an organized way. And so you can actually see here, we'll click here, go to Team Huddles. It's right at the top. You'll see June. And then in the comments, you're going to see all the calls this month. So that's where you're going to find all the team calls. Those are going to be the team huddles. On our corporate Q Sciences page, actually, you would get Super Saturday on here. You would not get Executive Academy, because that's something you will reserve for, because it's exclusively for executives or higher. But you will also get, you'll get anything team related in this spot, the huddles and the Super Saturdays. Any other a training that your leaders may do kind of pop up, they may share those in team chats. They may get them to you directly. But as far as the main things on that weekly rhythm, you're going to find it right here on the team page. And there's also a ton of resources stored down the guide, so take a sneak peek. But I say all of this to say, don't get lost in the fluff. And don't let this feel overwhelming. Start somewhere. Time block a little bit of time for training. If you can't show up to both the team huddle and the corporate, show up to the team huddle so you know what's going on in the team. Show up to the corporate update. Get into a rhythm of, once you've done your launch, this is going to be everything for everyone. Work on 2 exposures a day. So that's just taking someone from not knowing about Q Sciences to knowing about it, 2 brand new exposures a day, working on 10 new exposures a week. Guys, you don't have to have a ton of intensity behind your business, when what makes this work is the consistency in the small things. And so thank you for taking a look at this. I hope this brings some clarity to the rhythm, what to do, how to work your week. I suggest using a calendar if you don't, so that way you stay on top of just the few new things that you're adding into your life. Time blocking is a great tool to be able to even do some of those actions of inviting and follow up. But those of you who are focusing on the consistency and not the intensity, but of course, in the beginning, getting in front of that top 20 as fast as possible, that's going to be key. But once you're here and your routes are set 2 by 2 for 10 in a week, and you would be amazed at where your business is month over month over month as you teach your team to do the simple rhythm. And so with that, guys, thank you for your time. Please reach out to anyone in your support team, including myself, if you have questions. Never work this business alone. We are in this together. Let's do it.